Welcome to a Godspell Pking guide for beginners. I thought I should record the beginning intro in the wild, and this just started happening, so let's watch this while I talk to you guys about what we're going to be going over in this video. For everyone who does want to know, I've been getting asked a lot, hey, can you help me with Godspells? If this video is well received, a bunch of likes and views, I do not mind making an intermediate video for those who actually want to take it to the next level and learn a couple of these really cool tricks. But for now, what we will be covering is which Godspell you'd want to use, inventory setup, runes, mixed runes, how many bolts you should bring, where you should put them, spec weapons and where you should place those spec weapons, 3 to 4 way switches, prayers, F keys, PK areas, hotspots, because you really want to know those, how to use brews properly, maintaining damage and rhythm, and how to practice your PKing abilities on bots. So that's what we're going to go over. We won't go over total level, skills, or where to train, just because that's way too much. So without further ado, let's jump right in to the guide. I hope you enjoy. First, we will choose which Godspell fits for you. We're going to start off with Guthix Claw. Guthix Claw reduces the opponent's defense by 5%, but only one time. So I used this for a whole video, and to be honest, I thought it was incredibly weak, and I would not guarantee it. But if you do want to choose it, if you're going to go after high defense targets, then go for it. But either way, it's not going to help you in the long run because that has nothing really to do with the magic defense in general. So Guthix is the weak link here. Let's move on to Saradomin Strike. So Saradomin Strike, every time you hit somebody, it reduces their prayer by 1 per successful hit, which is not bad, especially if you're doubling it up with Smite. I would say Saradomin Strike is probably the strongest thing to use Day 2 Deadman Mode Seasonal, as prayer pots are hard to get and you just can really put the damage down and smite your opponent at the same time, usually ending up getting yourself a kill. The Godspell I would recommend is Zamorak Flames, which is by far the most used. It lowers the magic defense of the opponent by 5%, which is insane, but it's only a one-time use, so you cannot stack it. But this will make somebody who's using Barrage have to switch to Blitz in a moment's notice, which might stagger them a little bit, causing you to gain more rhythm during the fight. Also, another one of my favorite things about Zami Strike is if we look over here, go to your Godspells, you see Zami Strike, or sorry, Zamorak Flames, you click on it and then boom, right next to your Mystic Might. So when you start learning those F keys, you'll get that down instantaneously, whereas Saradomin Strike, which is actually the proper goddamn usage, is over here. So I've learned that quite well because I always used to use Sarah, but once you get into Zami, it is so much nicer to just go from there to there. Now of course you want to use Guthix, that works the same way, but like I said, Guthix doesn't really have a place in PvP. But either way, you choose which one you want to know. I'm just giving you what helps in each fight. So choose your Godspell and let's move on to the next step. So I am going to be showing you guys inventory setups, an insanely huge part of whether or not you're going to last a long time in the wild. Here is one of the most commonly used ones. I pretty much just copied it off one of Chunk's videos. You have your brews top right and your super combat stamina pot and a Samfram serum, which is actually really good. It counts as a anti-poison and a prayer pot. Everything else is the top left corner, including your melee spec weapon and then your runes at the bottom of the screen. So this is probably going to be your go-to because a lot of people, they drink a Cerebrew and they go for the melee protect. As you can see, it's literally just like right there. So they have all their brews to the bottom right, and it's a very easy way to combo eat because you just do one of these clicks while you're really close to your weapons. So if you want to get a feel for PKing, I would recommend this setup. But let's go on to another one. Let's go on to the one that I use. This is my setup. You mostly see this in my PK videos. What I do before I go out is I take a sip of anti-venom, I put it back in the bank, grab my amulet of wherever I'm going, and we are on our way. We have our stamina down below. All of my brews are on to the right of my screen. I just prefer that, and then one of the best things for me is to have my super combat and my ranging potion right next to my gear switch, so I can just right away go for that. It's just something I'm used to, so once in time where you're actually PKing a lot and you have your inventory set up more and more based on what you want, you will have your own setup, to be honest. I've seen some really fucking weird setups. So I just go for the first beginner setup where you have your 5 brews all on the right and your gear to the left, and then when you start getting more comfortable to where you want your weapons and your brews and your runes, you will have your own setup that you're going to be 100% comfortable with, and people are going to absolutely shit on you for having. Trust me, I get shat on all the time for having an inventory setup like this. They absolutely hate it, but then I will drop them on their forehead, and it's a good time. So now we're going to go on to runes, mixed runes. I like to use mist and lava runes. People do use mud runes, but I recommend mist and lava just because that is just what you need in general, and they're very cheap. I bring 250 of each, very cheap runes, 20 TBs just in case you miss a couple, and then really all you're going to need is 80 Nate runes and 80 blood runes. If you use more of that in a fight, you are insane. I would also keep your D-bolts to a minimum of 10. Of course, if you want to bring more the merrier. You're going to end up on one of my PK videos because I always kill people for like 70 D-bolts. I do not know why. If you keep it to 10, you will make profit easily. So 10 D-bolts, have your runes down below, have that amount, and you're going to be good to go. So I just want to get past all this inventory setup because it's pretty straightforward, and I want to get into where you start switching, which is the next step. First off, I have linked a guide down below. It tells you how to turn off your mouse acceleration. If you have not already turned off your mouse acceleration, what happens is when you slide your mouse across your screen, Windows 10 or 9 will accelerate it so you get there faster, which is horrible for muscle memory and DPI. So if you have not done that, 40-second guide down below, find that, turn it off. I would really show you how, but I mean the guy does it so well, I might as well just link you the guide. It's really fucking simple. And so what you're going to want to do is turn that off and then find a DPI. I'm around 600 to 700 that you're used to. If you're used to your mouse now, that is fine, because you're going to want to really hit hard the muscle memory so that when you're PKing, you don't think about it. This is why. So pretend you are throwing a ball in between your hands. So you got a ball, you're throwing it in between your hands. I would show you a webcam, but I'm too lazy. And the thing is, if you think about throwing the ball in between each hand and catching it, you're going to go slower. But if you look up and you throw it, you're going to do it a lot faster. It's because you're not thinking about it, and thinking about it actually slows you down. Same thing with clicking. If you think about clicking, if you force yourself to click fast, you're going to fuck up. But if you don't think about it, you're going to click really fast. This is why you need to learn how to use your muscle memory to your advantage, and just light clicks, mouse deceleration, all of that stuff goes into clicking. It's very simple. Just don't think about clicking. You're going to be able to click fast. If you think about clicking fast and you want to click fast, you're not going to be able to click fast. You're going to fuck yourself over. A lot of ways to practice clicking fast and muscle memory. One is when I saw Bodhi doing farm runs, he would just go around and just oh, I got a herb level. He'd just go around cleaning herbs or just clicking on shit, you know. See, I'm not really good with 6 ways, but yeah, he would just go around when you're doing farm runs or clicking on buckets. Just click a bunch. Don't even think about it. Just try to click each one. Even if you're clicking slow, like 1, 2, 3, it's all going to help in the end. I will be demonstrating all of these techniques and all of the switching and everything in actual combat for those who are more of an advanced learner. But I want to kind of slowly demonstrate and just explain why, because I think it would actually help a lot of you guys. But instead of talking about that, let's get into whether you should 3-way or 4-way switch. If you're a beginner, you're going to obviously want to 3-way switch. Very simple, very easy. It saves you an inventory space, and it's just all over easy. It's one of the most common things people do, and I still do a 3-way switch most of my time. But the reason why you'd want to go into a 4-way switch is the occult or a fire cape switch would really help your kill potential. The reason why an occult would do well is because most of the majority of fights that I'm in, people camp range. So if you have an occult, you're going to have a higher magic bonus and a higher max damage, leading to you actually winning the fight, winning over the rhythm, having more food at the end if they're camping range prayer. But other than that, 3-way switch, definitely do a 3-way switch if you're a beginner. And let's talk about F keys. I know a lot of people don't even know what F keys are. For the love of God, I hope you have them set up. They're the keyboard, they're the keys on top of your keyboard. The top, F1, 2, 3, and 4 are the ones I use. I won't be going into anything else. So just a really basic setup. F1 key is going to be your, what they call this, your combat options. F2 is going to be your inventory. F3 would be your prayer. That's very important, prayer. And then F4 is going to be your magic book. So You're just going to have your top fingers up on the keys. I don't even use my pinky sometimes, but occasionally I will. But usually I only have 3 fingers on 4 keys. It really is helpful to learn your F keys, for the love of God. Learn your F keys. Remember first Deadman mode, I didn't even know my F keys, and it was just embarrassing. So really practice those if you don't have them down. That's a very easy setup to learn. Bomb, 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 bomb. I could talk about that way more often, but let's get into the PK areas and hotspots, and then we will show you some action on how to practice in actual combat. Here is the wild. I have put red X's to where the hotspots are, but just obviously green dragon areas are insane, so I X them all, and then I have the Chaos Temple with an X, which is actually really good to PK with Godspells, because people train there quite often. Everywhere else is just kind of maybe you want to go there. I would not venture above 20 wild, because then if you venture above 20 wild, there's really no reason to have a regular mage book. You should just bring Barrage, because Barrage is strong. It's way stronger than Godspells. The only reason you're using Godspells is so you can TB and entrap your targets so they cannot get away. Green Dragon area, Chaos Temple. You can also hit up the people runecrafting if you want to be an asshole. You can do that. And then some of the Wildy Slayer areas, but those aren't hotspots, so that's why I didn't put an X by them. So this was pretty obvious, but let me show you some other very good hotspots in the Edgeville dungeon that are actually not that obvious to most people, but you can actually make a lot of bank PKing at. In the Edgeville dungeon, once you go past the gates, there is a wilderness area. If you didn't already know that, I would definitely go venture out. And right now, here's the Edgeville dungeon wilderness map. I have put X's to where it is actually decent to PK. Thugs would be hard, but Chaos Druids and Earth Warriors have people doing Slayer and making bank there. But the only thing is you would have to lose aggro. In order to lose aggro, you just sit in the area for about 10 minutes until the monsters don't attack you, and then you just TB people and kill them for their bank. You put it in the looting bag. It's actually a really good money-making method. So, if you ever got bored of Green Dragons and you have some time on your hands, I would definitely check these areas out. Let me show you how you can train to be a very decent PKer on bots with little to no experience. So let's go out in the wild. So I am at East Dragons, the land of the bots, and this is how I first learned how to PK. Because I was streaming, and there was a bot problem on Runescape, and I thought, it'd be really cool if I made a pure account just to kill bots. I didn't even try to PK. I went out, and without even F keys, I was killing bots, learning my inventory, learning everything. So we're going to start out with charge. Do not forget to charge, because you're going to really want to remember to charge. If you forget charge mid-fight, an actual fight, that's going to be fucked. And right now you're going to get to your prayer key, so click your F3 if that's what it is, and put on your protect item and your mystic might. Easy enough. Right when someone stops killing a dragon, you're going to land the TV. Slap and tangle. So it may seem like I'm just explaining how to kill a bot, but I'm also explaining how you really just fight somebody else. So get used to all of these. If you start getting more used to it, you can go into your range, go back to your mage. They're really good to practice on, and they also run, and you'll make some money off them. I brought my looting bag. We'll just throw their bones in the bag. Well, unless he ooh, grads. Grads, dude. Drop him with a 32. Get this guy going, and boom. You just made some money and practice, PKing. To be honest, it's that simple. What I would really practice on out here, TB. So the TB is a very small thing. You're going to misclick a lot. I still do too. So really practice TBing them. Hit them with the entangle. Learn your entangle times. It's 15 seconds. So you're going to get a nice sense of when they are going to be unentangled by the time you're done. Land another one on them. There's a ton to practice on, and you're just going to make money. Look at that. It's probably about 50k just off one bot, and I use minimal supplies. Easy as that. So we're going to kill one more just to kind of explain the switching and the DDS and everything. And then I'm going to show you some actual combat, brew mechanics, all that good shit, dude. So we found our next target. They always have aggro on, or auto retaliate on, so we're going to see that. And then let's practice our range this time. Swap into the range. Click the eagle eye. Always have your protect prayers on, and then just keep doing the swap. Go blop, blop. Remember that shit. And then go back. Or if you want to get your melee going, click on that. It's not like a real fight, but if you make it to where you switch enough and then a PKer comes and attacks you, you're going to be better off. with all of this switching, all of the prayer, all this muscle memory. Don't think about it, just go, I want to go to range, click on my range supplies, click on Eagle Eye, and then attack. Alright, and then it's just going to be muscle memory. After a couple hundred kills, or maybe even 50 kills, you're just going to be ready to actually fight people. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I learned to PK off bots. It's amazing. And the best part is you're going to run into people killing bots as well. They're not going to be good. You're going to have a fight against somebody the same skill level as you. And there you go. You just take it from there. You start hunting people down, start becoming a threat. It's all a moment's notice. So I'm going to show you guys some clips of me fighting multiple people and actually holding my own because of brew mechanics and rhythm. This is more of an intermediate to advanced thing, but I thought, you know, I should show a little bit of PogChamp learning just to get you guys hyped up for an intermediate guide next time, which won't be talking about anything or any intros. So let's jump right into that. Alrighty, so I've just been trying to commentate over multiple clips, and the one where I 1v3 actually doesn't have a lot of what I'm trying to explain, which is rhythm and Sarah mechanics, but this fight actually does. So my throat's kind of sore. I've been talking for the last hour, but I finally found a fight where I can commentate over and it actually makes sense to what I'm talking about. So I am Venomed. My anti-venom didn't proc apparently when I went to the bank, which sucks ass. Therefore, I gotta fight this guy and kill him soon. So what I do is I take advantage of the wall and I take advantage of my brews and I just use them so I don't lose any ticks. I see these coming at me. I see also his stats where he is a G-mauler. You also, if you can see your stats of your opponent mid-fight, you can definitely tell whether they're going to have a G-maul or a DDS. Sometimes it'll surprise you, but most of the time you'll be able to know. And I knew from this that this guy wants to come in and G-maul me. He's doing that little dirty Venom the G-maul game, which works very well. I go in for the DDS, which is really good. I see his melee protect prayers up. Hit him with that. So I brewed up. I'm not losing any ticks. It's beautiful. I have this insane rhythm on him, and I'm just hitting. Sadly, the rhythm didn't go through, so I got to try again. And eat up, restart, repot, and we're going to hit him again. He's going to try to entangle us. Does he hit? I don't remember. Yes. No? Yeah, I think he hit for half. Either way, doesn't matter. I go for an entangle on him. I see that I hit high with the mage, so I'm going to switch right into my range, keep that rhythm up. Beautiful DDS moment right here. Doesn't take the bait, switch to the range. I know after I go for the range, he's going to range, so I go for the mage, predicting that a step ahead, keeping my rhythm up. I know he's going to do that, so I'm already at the range right when he's at mage, and that's going to be enough to finish him off. See how good rhythm is in a fight. If you just have really good rhythm, really good prayer switches, and you know how to use your brews, you can turn the tables on literally any fight as long as you have slightly decent RNG. So hopefully that kind of showed more of the advanced mechanics that can be known. Don't get too scared though, just fight some bots, you'll get there. And if you guys want me to make an intermediate guide, which will not have any of the inventory set up or anything, it will just have how to do like reverse switches, counter attacks, you know, just cool spec weapon shit, then feel free to drop a like if you want to see that. I'm sorry if this is not too in-depth or just feels weird in general, because there's a lot of beginner shit, but all of this is very crucial. If you have no idea what the wild is, this should have helped you a ton. I actually wanted to make this video like an hour, but who the fuck wants to watch an hour guide, right? Because there's so much I missed and I hate it so much. So if you do have any questions down below, I will answer them in the comment section. And if you are new to my YouTube and you want more guides, more pure PKing content, I have them all on my channel. Subscribe, like, and hopefully I will see you in the next episode.